Okay, so I want to talk about like how can you improve relationship with food. So why am I talking about food again? Well, food plays a big part in our body confidence journey. And a lot of times food is actually one of the main factors that actually affects our confidence with our body. Very often we look at food as something that is like our enemy, right? So I noticed that in this whole body confidence journey, a lot of us have actually struggled with food. So let me know in the comment if you're one of those that also had been, struggling with food in the past. I know I had a really unhealthy relationship with food before, or if you're still working on, your relationship with food right now, do let me know in the comments. I would love to, have this conversation with you guys. So now today I'm going to give you guys 3 tips quick tips that can actually help you like change your relationship with food immediately. And hopefully these 3 tips are going to help you guys, flip the switch and to help you reprogram your mind around food. Okay, so I prepared my notes here. I don't know if you can see it flipped or reversed or properly. 3 tips here. Okay, so the first thing, I'm just gonna jump straight into it. And those of you who are watching live, do let me know where you're tuning in from. Okay, CL. Okay, CL, what does it stand for? First thing is change label. Okay, change label. Okay, what do I mean by that? Change label, a lot of times we would label food as good and bad, right? Like healthy, unhealthy, good and bad. Healthy, unhealthy is okay, but I know a lot of times we actually use the label good and bad. Okay, this food is good for me. This food is bad for me. And sometimes a lot of the food that we grew up with and a lot of the food that actually makes us feel good about ourselves or have like very significant cultural family meanings, we label them as bad as well. So when we actually label food as good or bad, we're actually associating our self-worth, our values with the food. Like for example, if you eat a piece of chocolate, you're like, oh my God, this is so bad. It's so bad. So immediately your vibration, right? And also the way you view yourself goes straight to like, I am so bad because I ate a piece of chocolate, for example, right? And if you probably like go to a party and you indulge yourself in ice cream, donuts, or cakes and things like that, and you come home, you probably feel quite guilty about it, right? Let me know how many of you have been there before. That is because immediately you look at all this food and you're thinking to yourself like, oh my God, these are bad food. These are so yummy, but they're so bad for me. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. Right? So labeling your food as good and bad can really have that emotional impact on you. And also you associate yourself as behaving good, behaving bad, according to what kind of food that you are choosing to have, right? So instead of labeling your food as good and bad or good or bad, my suggestion for everyone is actually identify what kind of food that you can have less of, what kind of food that you can have more of. Okay, so think of it that way, because at the end of the day, we have to educate ourselves, right? To know what kind of food is more nourishing, what kind of food is healthy and balanced for our body. I'm always talking about putting the right nutrients, okay, into your body. When your body gets the right nutrients, your cells get better, okay? When your cells get better, your body becomes healthier and your body will have its own ability to heal itself. Right? So this is really, really important, and that makes you more confident about your own health and your body. So it is very important for you to know what kind of food that your body needs the most. And what kind of food, for example, your favorite cheesecakes, your chips, your burgers, and, soda, those kind of food that your body does not need so much. You can think of it that way. I can have less of. Okay, I can have less of this food, but it is okay for me to indulge in them, once in a while, and it is okay for me to, consume them in moderation. So change the label. Okay, so this is the first one. I hope that's useful. Now, the second tip is layers. Okay, layers. So layers. Think of food not just as something that is your enemy. Okay, don't think of food as something that's going to make you fat, that's going to do all these bad things to your body. think of food as something that actually has a lot of layers, okay? We celebrate when we eat. Food is there, because of family. Food is family. Food is culture, okay? Food is nutrition, for sure. Food is science, okay? What else? Food is love. Food is emotions. Food is connections. So food has so many layers there. And it is very unfair for us to look at food as something that either, break or make us. Right? So, I mean, it could, like in a very extreme sense, if you indulge too much of the kind of food that your body doesn't need so much of, it could make us sick, right? So I don't want you guys to go to food and start judging, okay? We shouldn't have that kind of judgmental mindset towards the food. We need to actually understand food and understand that food definitely does have many layers, and we do have to be compassionate, and we do have to be, understanding, and we do have to actually also celebrate what food can do to us. How food brings everybody together. We celebrate different cultures, we try different cuisines from different cultures, and also food brings the family together. Food means so much, so we really have to give it to food. Okay, we have to acknowledge that the food, because of all these layers, they actually have so much enrichment to our life, right? So we cannot ignore that aspect of food. And instead of just telling us that, food is either good or bad, it's only making us fat, or, I don't feel like I'm worth anymore if I keep eating this food and it's only making me look like a bucket, for example. So don't go there. All right. So the second point is think of food as having many layers, and you got to celebrate food as something that is more than just something that goes into your body. It creates a lot of good memories as well. Okay, now the third tip, this one is actually very important, which is why I leave it to the last. Okay, EE. Okay, what does EE stand for? It stands for educate and experiment. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see my writing. Educate and experiment. That's right. So what do I mean by that? Educate yourself on food. Learn as much as you can. Learn from someone like me, learn from a coach, learn from a mentor, learn from a reliable, trusted source about, nutrition, learn about food, different types of food. If you are able to equip yourself with as much knowledge as possible, then you will have a broader understanding about food. Right? So that goes back to my first tip here, if we have a better understanding about food and nutrition and what your body needs, you will no longer label food as good and bad. Okay, you will have a holistic picture, a very big, picture of what food is. You might even understand about the industry. How do we strike that balance? The balance where we're able to, have our ice cream, we're able to enjoy, our favorite cheesecake, while we're able to nourish our body at the same time, right? So this is the balance that I'm advocating, okay? So educate yourself on food and nutrition. And the second part is experiment, experiment with, different kinds of, food choices. I know a lot of you guys here are probably vegans. A lot of you guys here probably try different types of, diet or whatever kind of regime that you choose to have, which is completely fine. Because at the end of the day, I always tell everybody, it's completely okay to try different things and see what works the best for your body, okay? Say, for example, intermittent fasting, keto diet, and all that, right? They work great for certain people, but they don't work for me, right? I've tried it and it doesn't work for me. And I found that, balanced diet works the best for my body, and also for not just my body, but my mind as well. Right? I've done vegetarian diet for over a year already, and now I've gone back to eating a bit of everything. So I've concluded that for my body and also for my mental sanity, emotional sanity, it's good to have a bit of everything, have that balance, right? So that's what worked for me. And of course, I respect everybody's food choices, and I encourage everybody to try different things as well and find what aligns with your body, what aligns with your body type, your genetics, your lifestyle. That's really important. Don't do something don't go look for like a type of fasting that doesn't really work with your lifestyle, for example, and it might make you crazy, right? So find something that makes you happy, okay? Find something that actually works for you, that's probably, I don't know, convenient for your lifestyle, that's nutritious, okay? And also it tastes good, okay? And then I always tell everybody, there's no point being a vegetarian, but if you complain about how bland the diet is, how limited choices you have, right? Like, we'd rather have everybody being a happy vegetarian or a happy meat eater, right? Than being forced into a particular, lifestyle choice that, you're not happy about, right? So try to experiment, with different types of food, try a variety of food, try food from different cultures, and then you'll be surprised by, like all these like different food that you never tried before that can do wonders to your body. Okay, so these are my 3 tips for you guys today. I hope this was useful, and if you'd like to see more tips videos like this, do let me know, and also write in the comment below, let me know what sort of topics you want to hear from me more. And definitely I do have a lot of nutrition food based topics here with me, and I figure that it is very important to actually include the nutrition based and also wellness based tips together with the mindset training here to help everybody elevate your body confidence. Okay guys, thank you so much for tuning in today.